Because we can do this all day. This is my element. They did a great introduction. I don't have to do anything further on that. But I do want to say, without a test, you can't really have a testimony. So what I'm getting ready to start with is why I chose the topic for today. A couple of months ago, I was in a pretty bad car accident. Okay? And the thing is, sometimes when bad things happen, we're so quick to ask, why? Why me? I'm good. I do everything for everybody, all this good stuff. And what I had to stop in that time and slow down and do, it actually set me up for my next phase of what I want to give back to you. Because I ran. I wanted to save the world single-handedly. I had an S on my front and my back. And I needed to slow down because I wasn't going forward. I was tearing me down. Okay? So, just real quickly, the accident, I was at a stop sign and minding my own business, stop red light, and a car rammed me from behind. Now, I knew that you said we don't look behind, and she's right. However, what happens from behind may actually set us up for the future. So I don't want to look behind, but I want to learn from behind. I don't want to buy the same mistake over and over again. Now when I drive, I was so concentrated on looking forward. Anybody who has ridden with me will tell you, I talk fast, I walk fast, I do everything fast, but you probably ride a bike faster. I mean, you can probably walk fast, I can drive, because I don't like driving fast. I worked on the cop, so I would go to scenes that were horrible accidents. So I understood the power of the car. So I'd rather be the old lady on the wayside y'all honking at. I'm good with that. I ain't in no hurry to get nowhere. It's gonna still be there when I get there. So that's just not my thing, So I'm always looking ahead. I was always concentrating on these people in front of me that I never looked behind. So I didn't even have no clue this guy wasn't stopping at that sign because I don't look there. So today, we're gonna look a little bit about forward and behind as it relates to your health. Okay? Some people say, oh man, I picked up all this weight. Well, you know what? You didn't do it overnight. That took time. When I was sick, I picked up about 20 pounds. Well, I coach people on weight loss. So then I was upset because I couldn't lose these 20 pounds. So I had to control, alt, delete, and start back and do what I know. It's not what I mentally want to do. Okay? So today, we're just going to talk about very quickly, and again, y'all make some noise behind me because I can't see you, We'll be here, it'll be time for Sunday tomorrow. They're like, all these people came to church today because they never left, because we still talking. But I have a little form in front of you. That's just to help keep me on where I'm supposed to be. So we're actually going to start from the bottom and go up. All right, number 10. Has anybody heard of turmeric? Yes. Okay, what have you heard? What does it do? Okay. Right. So I like to look at things around the world. I did 2 rotations. One of them was in China, the other was in Mexico. I thought that they were kind of torturing me, sending me to Mexico for this rotation. Everybody else went to New York. They went to all kind of cool places. I look at my little form and say, Mexico. And I was like, what did I do wrong? But it was the most amazing thing, because if anybody understands, because I was thinking more, nothing was wrong with Mexico, I was thinking more of I want to be in the mainstream of things. What I didn't know is they made me the better practitioner by sending me to Mexico. Because if you think about it, you could have, even though the diet and the culture isn't good, they have long lifespans, and a 99-year-old man could cut your grass. And I would say they are 60% of my patients. It's Hispanic. For a matter of fact, they call me, whatever the word is, they say it so fast, but it's called Doc in a Box, because I'll come into the area and then I'll just see tons of people in one location, But my point is that I like to look at cultures and see, especially successful cultures, to see what did they do that was different. Now, turmeric is very much an Indian culture. We talk about the curry smell and we're like, oh my goodness, that is so strong, blah, blah, blah. But they actually, Indians in that area, India in that area has the longest lifespan in the whole country. And turmeric is a big thing that they use. They cook with it. They use it as what we use for Tylenol. They use it for that. They use it for inflammation. One of the young ladies mentioned stomach fat. Well, a lot of people, it's not necessarily fat. We are so full of two things, and that's water and fungus. Now, if that's the case, you can diet all you want. Water and fungus ain't going nowhere with that. So, and somehow you know that sometimes you know this is what it is, because ladies, have you ever been, some days you say, oh, I look so thin, and then the next day you're like, I look, man, or if you can get a pair of jeans and you can squeeze into them, you ain't squeezing in fat. Fat is actually quite heavy, it's strong. So if you can change your body composition, you know, the best thing they did a few years ago was those expandable jeans, you know, those jeans, and we like, oh, this is great, because I can get everything in here. If you can do that, then it's probably not truly fat, if you can move it like that. So now let's deal with what that is. If it's water, if it's fungus, let's deal with that. So turmeric is really good for inflammation. You know, it is not, and we have come accustomed. One thing I'm going to tell you about what I'm trying to do now, but I work in the ER, and sometimes I feel like when I work in the ER, I work for Concentra, and I feel like I'm kind of a hypocrite, because I have to do what I have been trained to do. I have to treat you the way I have been trained to treat you. I have to say, if you're a 45-year-old female, I'm going to put you on the Sonapril. Doesn't matter if I want to or not. That's what textbook says to do. Okay? So you feel a little bit like a little hypocrite, because I'm like, that's not what she needs. You know? And so with that being said, I often have to relate back to what do I want to do as a practitioner. You know, and it's all about healing people, and let you heal yourself. Let you think about what grandma did. Yeah. You know, let you think about how they had some of the same conditions we have, they just handled them differently. Okay? So I'm going to go up to number 9 real quick. I produced a product called Sleep Well. Now, that's not really the name of it, but it is what it does. The reason being is, we are under the misconception when you think about supplements and vitamins and things like that if it's more expensive, it's better. Get that out your mind. I actually took some supplements. Somebody was telling me about this Bio4, which is, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and it's about digestion, because about 90% of diseases start in your stomach. Okay, so if that's the case, you know, I wanted to know, how can I help that? So this Bio4 is a vitamin that's about $100 a bottle. Is it worth it? Your health is absolutely worth it. Does it have to be 100? No, it don't. So I took that vitamin to UT Southwestern, and the chemist there, who I get on his nerves because I'm constantly bringing stuff, telling me, would you put this in your machine, please? You know, he puts it in there. He tells me how much of it is a true vitamin, how much of it is filler, and how much of it is just, you know, blase. And 42% of this vitamin was nothing. But I will say that the rest of it was a high potency of what it was. Now, if that's the case, then let me find the key components of this. Yes, you might have to take 2 or 3 supplements, but all the 2 or 3 supplements equaled up to about $15. And that's what you truly needed. Yes. You know, it was a better deal. You know, so it's actually knowing too what you're doing. So now, with that being said, what happens at night is super important. All your check engine lights are serviced at night. Now, when a person doesn't sleep, you're cutting down your lifespan tremendously. When a person doesn't get to REM sleep, you're cutting down your lifespan. My Fitbit gone. I just thought about that. I must have fell in the car. I'm sorry. When you cut out your, when you don't get good sleep, it really tears you down. If you want to lose weight, you need to get some sleep. If you want to have better blood pressure, you need to get some sleep. And it doesn't matter the time. And what made me think about the Fitbit was, I may not only sleep about 5 or 6 hours. My most divine inspiration time is between 1 and 3 a.m. Now, that's when most people should be asleep. But however, I do take a power nap every day, like clockwork. And at the hospital, they'll tell me when I get grumpy, they'll be like, you need to take a little nap. Yes, I do. Let me take my power nap. And then when I get up, it's a spoon full of sugar. I'm great. You know, but I don't require as much sleep. But you need to know how much sleep you need to restore. You know, so Sleep Well, what it does is it doesn't necessarily put you to sleep. It helps you get into REM sleep. It helps you get into a sleep of restorative. You know, men need this a lot, because a lot of men do not get restorative sleep. If you sleep with a snorer, a mover, somebody to make you sometimes have to get out the bed, that is not healthy.
This is why they have cardiac problems. This is why they have several issues. This is why they have sleep apnea. They forget to breathe at night. You know, sleep apnea is the same as SIDS that we used to know about the kids. Well, they still have it. Same type concept. Your body literally forgets to breathe, and you can't tell yourself to wake up. You know, so this happens because we don't get to that portion of sleep. So we need to sleep well. That's why I titled it that. The next one is baking soda. Now, baking soda's come up recently, and it comes up and goes away because what we don't like, we don't really want to talk about. You know, we don't be thinking, But I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and we used to have, and my grandmother did too, she used to eat this thing called Argo starch.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I thought that was the coolest thing, and she would have the nerve to make little balls for me. And that's what I would eat, my little Argo starch balls. That made me feel like I was so close to my grandmother. Now, but when something interesting happened when I ate this starch, I'm like chronic asthmatic. I have one lung, that's what put me into the healthcare. The other lung deflates quite a bit, used to, doesn't anymore, but it used to when I was growing up, which stopped me from, you know, running outside, doing lots of things, because I was a kid that would be bent over, you know, the whole 9 yards. But while I was eating in the summer times, when I would eat the Argo starch with my grandmother, I never had asthma problems. I never had skin problems. I didn't have as much digestive issue. And I'm thinking, it never dawned on me till later when a colleague did a dissertation on baking soda, and he mentioned the Argo starch, which has a lot of baking soda. So now these folks were eating it, and if you notice, a lot of those people, especially near the end of eating Argo starch, they were old. So now, true enough, people say that starch, that's chemicals, everything you eat is chemicals now. So that's not my problem. But I was thinking about how many old people I saw eating that starch. So now, we assess that too. The stomach lining, cleaning out that stomach. We assess it to that. There are several benefits of starch. Of baking soda. And I want you to stop and research it. I know I don't have a lot of time, so I'm only on number 8, and they're going to start looking at me crazy in a minute. But anyway, now let's go up to number 7, the mushrooms. Now, again, I told you I spent some time in China. That's where one of my rotations were. And one of the things that Chinese medicine uses is mushrooms. Now, these are not, the first thing people say is, I don't like mushrooms. Okay, fine. Mushrooms are a fungus. They do good things for you. But this ain't one you eating. This is you drink. A few years ago, they had the coffee. They had the Ganoderma mushroom in it. It was, again, so expensive. People think if it's expensive, it's better. It's not. It's a mushroom. We can grow it if we want to do. You know? So if that's the case, we go back and try to get the Risha mushroom in another way so that you can kind of get it. Now, in China, they use that for when a person has what they call bad blood. It could be diabetes. It could be anything. And they're going to start off with that universal mushroom, because it helps cells redivide better. So if that's the case, if I can get cells happier, healthier, moving around, doing things, not being all sludge, then we got a better chance. The other thing that it did, since it helps cells, we're going to do a little bit of A&P. I also teach, real quick. But we have 2 cells that we're going to talk about right now. We're going to talk about white blood cells. Those are your no-limit soldiers. They out there fighting. They looking for a fight. You get a cold, they like, what? We here. Okay? So those are your no-limit soldiers. Then you got your red blood cells who are like kumbayas, who hold my hand. You get oxygen, you get oxygen, you get oxygen. They're our friends. They're the good ones. We need both of these guys to divide proper for good health. Now, when you take your child to the doctor, you're very adamant about the fact that you want your child to have an antibiotic. You say, she's sick. I want her to have an antibiotic. You're not going to give her anything? That's what you tell us. And then we say, okay, I'll give you an antibiotic. We give you the antibiotic. Half the reason we're in our problem right now is because we overutilize those type of medicines when we don't need them. You know, the flu epidemic, big epidemic, because you've overutilized the medications that would have helped you. So now you get to a point where I can't do nothing. So we actually die from the flu only because I got an antibiotic that can actually do anything for you, per se. You know, not saying that's the only reason. There's an easy way to think about it. Now, your white blood cells, those are those little limit soldiers. They fight whatever infection happens. So we're cell dividing, they're doing their thing. In the event that whatever you have is so strong that those cells can't do that job,
let's think about military strategy. What happens when we send our first line of defense out and something happens to that first line of defense? We call in the Navy SEALs. We call in the other folks. That's what antibiotics do. You take the antibiotic and it calls in a whole new, bigger, badder set of white blood cells to go take care of the problem. Okay? So with that being said, keeping that cell division is super important if you want to have good health. Now, a lot of times we can get it from food, but clearly we're not eating what we should. You, me, nobody. So if we have to figure out a way we can put it into the diet, this is how you do it. And you start it young. Start the kids eating better, doing better. I have a big thing with my parents who tell me, oh, she don't eat this and she don't eat that. Well, I ask the parent, do you eat it? So that's why she don't eat it. So since you're not going to give, I don't eat meat, but my 2 children are carnivores. So it's not, that's my choice. I tell you why. You don't want to conform, okay, let's just do leaner, better meat. Let's just pick our choices better. Let's do things like that, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it.
Right. You know, so that's one thing. Let's go up to the greens. This leads us to the greens. Now, I have a table over here. I'm going to have a sign-up list, but the greens are a little package of greens that you put into anything you drink. It is 5 to 6 times the amount of green vegetables you need per day. It tastes good. I add it to orange juice, if you can drink orange juice, but I add it to orange juice and go, shake it up, and keep it on going. Give it to your children. You put it inside of their drinks. Give them the power they need to be healthy. And if you can't do it no other way, get this $14 thing from Amazon and throw it into their drink. You know, it's going to give you everything you need. So even if you choose to eat bad, if you can drink this, you're still one step ahead of the game. If we got to trick ourselves into doing better till we feel better, we got to fake it till we make it, because when you start feeling better, you start living better. That's my key with my weight loss club. When people start being able to get into a little bit smaller clothes, I ain't even telling you to change your diet. I need you to get into a smaller pair of jeans. Then all of a sudden, what I say makes sense and it matches. Now I can talk about your food. Now I can talk about your diet. We all from the show me stage. Okay? So when you start feeling better, we do better. Protect your feet. I have a couple of things I want to talk about with that, but I'm going to save that for when you sign. You can sign up for a weekly call if anybody has ever had one of my calls. And anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I want you to be a little bit more careful about your feet. We wear these wonderful shoes, and even our men, a lot of our men are getting to the point where they're getting degenerative joint disease and things like that. It's all because they're wearing shoes every day without proper inserts, without proper anything. You need to get you some inserts. Everybody do. Everybody do. Even if you're not there, you can wear stilettos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, put your tennis shoes on and put you a memory foam insert in it. So I want to make sure you know how to get those. Number 4, gastric enzymes. We talked about that earlier, about that Bio-4. A lot of diseases start in the stomach. And just so that you understand, I told you guys this last year, what happens when you decide to eat. When you decide to eat, even the thought of deciding to eat starts the hydrochloric acid in your stomach to bubbling, because it needs to break down that food. Okay, so what has happened over time, because any of you guys, women are not as bad, sorry men that are here, women are not as bad, but men are extraordinarily bad with, you cook a good meal, they smell it, that's sensory. The hydrochloric acid in the stomach gets to bubbling. They can't wait to eat it. When they get the food, they don't chew it. They want to get it down the esophagus as fast as possible so they can get some more. Then what you do, because you're so happy that he loves your food, you overput too much stuff on the plate, so you're thinking, a happy plate, happy face. He don't even need all that. Now, his mind, if he don't eat all of it, you gonna yell at him. So even when he's full, he adjusts his body so he can get a little bit more in. And all of these are trainable bad habits. Eat till you're full. Yes. You know, put things on your portion, your plate. Go to a restaurant, split a meal with your spouse or your person. You'll be amazed how much you eat. Yes. You'll be amazed how much we leave behind. I look at the tables and look at how much food when people leave is left there. Which means you could have shared that food in the first place. You know, it's gotten so popular, I see a lot of places saying that you can't share food. You know, they'll have little signs up. And I just politely tell them, I
don't have to spend my money here. My coins go where I feel. You know, so, but that's a big deal. So I want you guys to really think about stomach. The next thing is omega and flaxseed. We hear this a lot, but again, if you're not getting the proper, you're not getting a good supplement, then you're probably going to TT off most of whatever that pill was. Because the fillers, you're going to TT off.